That registration that can be tagged by the color and boldly standing out when allowed to proceed with no dirt. See there's that registration that can be tagged by the color and boldly standing out when allowed to proceed with no dirt. See there's pro-life and dead soul, which you can raise a suspicion. The cycles of physics, the pedals to yourself into your healthy environment, and passions and compass, in which take 2 long trips to nowhere and half a take of cigarettes and breakfast. I go real quick. An appetite and a budget that maybe you lack. I wash it all down the drain to the ocean where it all ended and started, where we reached the level of tolerance and less than what it seemed to feel. Now the waves of surface and the writing of defects, the shore is still in my shells, in which history, your currency to sell, your escape, you're allowed to sail to the peace until your next storm comes unnoticed. Up, prepared in the weather announced for the hoofer of clouds, changing the moods and shifting shapes, dreams and nights, the mirrors and waves, the islands and southern members and the banks, the way you overdraft accounts to save yourself. Spend time with somebody if you never anybody you care about enough to save them. Hardship for the war, the mothers and the fathers that been sick over the seas and the overdraft for the front line of stones. Me throwing it back past the pocket now. Better than the people that carry that couldn't walk with you here. Any more than people that think you stole. Question the instincts and severing, smelling fishy. Missing the evidence of the proof you're reading. The rights to beat the citizens arrest the rest. And remain in the peace in the blind spot. In the eye that storms the air. The mildew, the station, the city. The hope and gilded it breeze. The energy streets, the city. The where you reside, the mayor. The people, the votes, the places. The insecurity, the tools. And storage and garages. And errands. And nagging errands. And you return. Or get a refund on that recall, that thought. Claim that and listen to your time. Entertain that creative voice. Your desires are intelligent, you say. Resources with reservoirs, agreeing to disagree, you remain relatable. Unrebuttable. You find the pleasure of inside the point of rebounds. Score without foul play and paying for free throws is not practice but promise. And the fans for years are blowing. Went up their asses and sitting on assets. You can keep settling with these assholes who can't tell apart from shit or farce. Far out of control, they can let it waste idols. Be held up on my shit for all others to smell. You feel compassion to clean me clear. The aroma, the memory, your lessons that you shouldn't have been in vain, which can clog a heart and tap. Mode to the off and the fast food digestion. You can feed them feds. Lawyers in the sewers with stains in the shells. Item out slice for the pie food. Meat to be vegan. Skill shelf with disgusted with feels purchasing of a void. Raise a suspension, the cycles of physics, the pedals to yourself into your healthy environment. Your passions and compass, in which take 2 long trips to nowhere and half a take of cigarettes and breakfast. I go real quick. An appetite and a budget that maybe you lack. I wash it all down the drain to the ocean and where it all ended and started, and where we reached the level of tolerance and less than what it seems to feel. Not the waves of surfers and the writing of defense, the shore is still in my shells, in which history, your currency to sell, your escape, you're allowed to sail to the peace until your next storm comes unnoticed. Prepared in the weather announced for the hoover of clouds, changing the moods and shifting chips, dreams and nights, the mirrors and waves, the islands and southern members and the banks, the where you overdraft accounts to save yourself. Spend time with somebody if you never anybody you care about enough to save them. Hardship for the poor, the mothers and the fathers that been sick over the seas and the overdraft for the front line of stones. Me throwing it back past the pocket round. Better than the people that carry that couldn't walk with you here. Any more than the people that think you stole. Question the instincts and severing, smelling fishy.
without registration that can be tagged by the color and boldly standing out when allowed to proceed with no dirt. See, there's pro-life in dead soil, which you can raise the suspension, the cycles of physics, the pedals to yourself into your healthy environment. Your passions and come pass, in which take 2 long trips to nowhere and half a tank of cigarettes and breakfast. I go real quick. An appetite and a budget that maybe you lack. I wash it all down the drain to the ocean where it all ends. Where we reach the level of tolerance, and less than a minute seems to feel not the waves of surface and the writing the defense. The shore is still in my shells, so which history, your currency to sell, your escape, you're allowed to sail to the peace until your next storm comes unnoticed. Prepared and well announced for the hoover of clouds, changing the moods and shaping chips, dreams and nights, the mirrors of waves, the islands and the southern members and the banks, the where you overdraft counts to save yourself. Spend time with somebody, get somebody gift. You never anybody you care about enough to save them. Hardship for the poor, the mothers and the fathers that been sit over the seas and the overdraft for the front line of stones. Me throwing it back past the back around. Better than the people that carry that couldn't walk with you. Any more than the people that think you stole. Questioning instincts and smelling fishy. Missing the evidence of the proof you're reading. Your rights to beat the citizens, arrest, and remain in the peace in the blind spot. In the eye, the storm of the air, the mildew, the station, the signals, the poke and gilded breeze, the enter the streets, the city, where you reside, the mayor, the people that votes to place it, where insecurity the totes, and the storage and garages, your errors, or having errors, and being ignorant enough. You can return, or get a refund on that recall, that thought. Claim that illicit to be entitled. Entertain that greed avoids. Your desires and intelligence you reserve. Resources with reservoirs, agreeing to disagree, you remain rebatable, or rebuttable, to find a pleasure or inside the point of rebounds. Score without foul play and paying for free throws is not practice but promise. The fans for years blowing, went up their assets and sitting on assets. You can see settling with these assholes who can't tell apart from shit or fucks. Far out of control, leaking with his waist, I was to be held up by my shit for all others to smell. You can feel compassion to clean me clear. Your aroma, the memory, your lesson that you shouldn't have been vain, which can clog your heart intact. Mode to the often fast food digested. You can feed them feds. Lawyers in the sewers with stains in the shells. Itemized slice for the pie food. Meat to be vegan. Skill shelf with discussing what feels purchasing of a void. Basic suspension, the cycles of physics, the pedals to yourself into your healthy environment. Your passions and come pass, in which take 2 long trips to nowhere and half a tank of cigarettes and breakfast. I go real quick. An appetite and a budget that maybe you lack. I wash it all down the drain to the ocean where it all ended and started, and where we reached the level of tolerance, and less than a minute seems to feel not the waves of surface and the writing of defense. The shore is still in my shells, or which history, your currency to sell, your escape, you're allowed to sail to the peace until your next storm comes unnoticed. Prepared and well announced for the hoover of clouds, changing the moods and shaping chips, dreams and nights, the mirrors of waves, the islands and the southern members and the banks, the where you overdraft counts to save yourself. Spend time with somebody, get somebody gift. You never anybody you care about enough to save them. Hardship for the poor, the mothers and the fathers that been sit over the seas and the overdraft for the front line of stones. We ain't throwing it back past the back around. Better than the people that carry that couldn't walk with you here. Any more than the people that think you stole. Questioning instincts and smelling fishy. Missing the evidence of the proof you're reading. Your rights to beat the citizens, arrest, and remain in the peace in the blind spot. In the eye, the storm, the air, the mildew, the station, the signals, the poke and gilded breeze, the enter the streets, the city, the where you reside, the mayor, the people that votes to place it, where insecurity the totes, and the storage and garages, and errors, and having errands, and being ignorant enough. You can return, or get a refund on that recall, that thought. Claim that illicit to be entitled. Entertain that greed avoids. Your desires and intelligence you reserve. Resources with reservoirs, agreeing to disagree, you remain rebatable, or rebuttable, to find a pleasure or inside the point of rebounds. Score without foul play and paying for free throws is not practice but promise. The fans for years blowing, went up their assets and sitting on assets. You can see settling with these assholes who can't tell apart from shit or fucks. Far out of control, leaking with his waist, I was to be held up by my shit for all the others to smell. You can feel compassion to clean me clear. Your aroma, the memory, your lesson that you shouldn't have been vain, which can clog your heart intact. Mode to the often fast food digested. You can feed them feds. Lawyers in the sewers with stains in the shells. Itemized slice for the pie food. Meat to be vegan. Skill shelf with discussing what feels purchasing of a void. Basic suspension, the cycles of physics, the pedals to yourself into your healthy environment. Your passions and come pass, in which take 2 long trips to nowhere and half a